Humongous pig. You may have seen this on social media. This is a big pig. How big was the pig?
I don't know. I could not find how big Papa Pig is.
It has a name. So this pig was out in traffic. It blocked traffic for a very long time in the middle of a rush hour. And finally, they were able to find the owners of this big pig, which name was revealed as Papa Pig. And finally was able to get the pig out of the way of traffic so people could get to where they're going during a rush hour.
Yeah, evidently he got out of his little trailer and just got out on the highway. And, he had never been there before, so he was kind of on a sightseeing tour, and he wanted to look around. He wasn't blocking the road the whole time, but so many people, you know how it is. People want to see what's going on. Like, what's the commotion up here? Oh, that's a pig. And so people were kind of slowing down to watch the action. But I would love to know how big Papa Pig is. That's a big boy.
How many pounds?
Yes.
Because the thing, it looks like it's as big as a Great Dane.
As far as height. Yeah.
And then, of course, it's a pig, so, pretty round.
He's been eating pretty well. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say 1,200 pounds.
Very well taken care of.
Is that too big for a pig? 1,200 pounds.
We're talking pig.
I know, but when I said it sounded good.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
Next week, Black Friday is like the deadline to sign up to win Decking Your Halls, where a professional is going to come over and decorate the outside of your home.
Yeah, and think about it. Next Wednesday, you're going to be preparing turkey and dressing. Thursday, you'll have people over. Friday, it's Black Friday. So I would think if it were me, I'd get in right now.
Well, yeah.
Very busy.
Right? It's so easy to do it. And just think, a professional, not just some, the guy next door. Yeah, Liz is not going to come over and do a really horrible job of decorating the front of your home.
If I did come over, it would be a really horrible job.
If I came over, it'd be worse.
No.
It would be worse. So a pro is going to do it for you. It's Decking Your Halls. So go ahead and sign up right now before time runs out on you.
It is so easy to do. Text the word Christmas to 800-447-7234. You can go to the My His Radio app, open it up. You're going to see Decking Your Halls right there, or go to hisradio.com.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
There's a blog and an Instagram page. It's called Humans of New York. And one of the stories that came out of it is a dad who said, back when my daughter was born, this was like early 1992, he said her mom and I were not in good places. We were drug addicts. We had a lot of things going on. In fact, he had been in jail for 7 years for robbery. And as soon as he found out that he and his wife were expecting, he said, my life changed on a dime. Right away, I started buying all the little girly stuff. When you find out if you're having a girl or a boy, you run out and you either buy the baseball bat or you buy the princess dress or, whatever the case is. And he said, I really started to work harder. I cleaned my act up. So did my wife. And we prepared for the birth of our daughter. And we started raising her a much better way than we had been raised. So all this time goes by. She goes to college on a full scholarship. She's now in law school, and she wrote an essay about her dad saying, my dad, my father, my hero is what she called her essay. And this guy was breaking down when he was talking about his daughter and just, how he knew he grew up in an instant when he found out they were expecting.
And she wrote the essay on him.
On him, my father,
That's
my
so
hero.
Great.
I know, and I guess submitted it for her SAT. Because I guess, do you have to do the essay for the SAT? Now, I don't know either. But yeah, she wrote an essay about it, and my father, my hero.
Way to go.
Yeah.
He turned his life around, and look what happened.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
Microsoft sent out to 50,000 of its customers gift cards, either $10 or $100.
I'd probably get 10.
And it's gone into a lot of junk mail.
Yeah.
So people have no idea. And here's another thing I think. If I would have seen that, I would have went, right, and then delete it.
You would think scam.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. But no, it's the real deal. 25,000 I read got the $100.
Yeah.
And then the rest got increments of 10 or whatever else that's in there. So from $10 to $100, there are people that have no idea that it went to junk mail, or they looked at it and went, yeah, right, and then deleted it. Because that's the first thing I would do is delete it.
Yeah. Well, I checked, and I didn't get one. So
No?
So you have a better chance because I'm out of the running, evidently.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of nice they did that for 50,000 people.
Yeah, and kind of cool that you didn't know about it really beforehand, before they did it. Because
Not until they go, oh, wow, our money's going to junk mail.
However, maybe they banked on the fact that people would go, it's a scam, delete.
Yeah, delete, because,
Oh, no.
you never know.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
So there, I don't know if you noticed this, but now ugly sweaters are being made for things other than humans. And now these are for shoes, and these are for Crocs. And so now they have Crocs that are decked out like a Christmas sweater. Or if you have Crocs now, they make what they're calling charms, which is actually things that you can poke into the holes.
Oh, yeah.
To turn your Crocs into an ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of Crocs. And then I think, how are you going to wear them at Christmas? Because your little toesies are going to freeze. They got
You
those
wear socks up to your ankles. No, up to your knees.
You wear socks with your Crocs.
Yeah, you wear socks with your Crocs. Hey, there's a theme going on here. Listen to that. So they have two that look just like sweaters. So they have one that's called the Classic Line Holiday Charm Clog, and then the Classic Line Holiday Charm Clog that is white and multicolored and red and white. So they have two different ones in different colors that you can do, or you just buy what they call the charms and then punch them into the holes of your Crocs.
And normally they'll sell the charms separately too. So if you already have a pair
Wait a minute,
of
this is
Crocs,
a thing already?
the charms?
I had no idea.
Yeah, because I think you can get them in characters and maybe sports. You can put, if you play baseball, you put a baseball on them.
I had
or whatever.
no idea.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, I personally don't see you putting charms on your Crocs.
I don't have Crocs. This is like all new news to me.
Then you don't wear socks with your Crocs.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
Evidently, that charm thing is a thing. I had no idea you could put a ton of them already in a Croc.
I guess that's what the little holes were made for on top of the Crocs. And then you can, whatever the holiday is or whatever sport you're into or whatever, you just buy them. I think they're fairly expensive, though.
Off to the producer desk, Ninja, who is our morning show producer, is getting married and is considering on Crocs for her wedding shoes. Ninja.
Well,
really?
I looked them up, and they do exist. The wedding Croc exists for like $130.
What?
So.
Okay, well.
How much are Crocs anyway? Are they like $70?
I have no idea.
I don't get it. It's plastic. I don't get it.
Ninja?
I don't think I will go that way.
Okay, good.
But,
I was looking forward
Goodness
to
gracious.
it. I thought I was going to take pictures and everything.
But you can't. I mean, you can put rhinestones and stuff on them. You can make them cute, I think, for your wedding.
Oh, wait, Beth is here at 800-447-7234. Evidently, I'm calling it wrong. It's not a charm. What is it? What is it, Beth? That you put in the Crocs? They're not charms. They're what?
Gibbet.
I've never heard of that in my life. I never would even guessed a gibbet.
I didn't either until I started dating a guy that had a whole bunch of them on his Crocs.
What did you think when you saw them?
What on earth are those?
What did he have on them?
You can get all kinds of characters and letters, all kinds of things.
What kinds of characters did he have, though?
He had Paw Patrol, Power Rangers, and I think he had a rainbow.
Wow, just for the kids.
Just for the kids, that's right.
I'm sure you went out, got your own Crocs and gibbets.
I've never owned a pair of Crocs.
I'm with you on that.
Me too.
Rob and Liz,
his morning crew.
Pastor Robbins is joining us at 800-447-7234. Good morning, Pastor Robbins. What's up?
I just wanted to tell y'all do an awesome job, and y'all's calling is from the Lord. You can tell it up one side and down the other. And I just wanted to encourage Liz. You're talking about traveling and things happening and getting thrown your way. We all have it, and it depends on how you react to it. God's put me in some humbling places in the past 2.5 years, traveling over 20,000 miles doing evangelism. It's just been amazing and humbling, and I just want to thank y'all for what y'all do.
That means so much, Pastor Robbins. You have really blessed us today.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we got to be a blessing to all, and y'all do it every day. I listen to you every morning, and I just wanted to tell you God bless, and we're praying for you. We love you, and keep up doing what God's put in your way.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
There's this car that's been sitting here for so long, they finally towed it.
How long had it been there?
Finally. Years.
Oh, why would somebody leave their car there for a year?
47 years. This car has been in the same spot. They finally towed it.
Why in the
Finally.
world? 47 years? Like, what?
Yeah, and it's a really old clunking car,
I
too.
would think
I mean,
so.
it looks like it's falling apart. It's one of those things where you got to keep the trunk closed all the time. I mean, that kind of a thing. It's
With
just
duct tape?
it's an old car. I can't even pronounce the name of this car because it's overseas.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in Italy.
47.
So here's the thing. The people where it was parked in front of was in front of a newsstand, and this guy owned the newsstand. And so he was there early in the morning, every single morning, parked the car right there because he took the papers and everything out of his
Sure.
trunk and then filled up the stand, and he just left his car there every morning, of course, because he worked there.
Oh.
It was his thing. And at the top, he lived above it. So...
Gotcha. He
So-
didn't have a long commute.
No, not a long commute at all. So as time goes on, the couple retired, and then they moved away, but they kept the car there. Then it became a permanent I can't even say the
Permanent
word.
fixture?
Thank you. A
Okay.
permanent fixture for such a long time. People were taking selfies by it. It became a tourist attraction. The city just took it away.
Why did they not make it like a historical icon, where they deem that and then you can't do anything to it? Because if it's been there so long.
They are going to rebuild the whole thing, make it like it's brand new.
Oh, the car.
The car itself, and then they're going to bring it over where this couple now lives and park it in front of where they are so they can see it all the time.
Okay, I like the
Isn't that
way that
nice?
story just ended.
I'm
I was
telling
a little
you.
concerned. I'm like, you can't. I mean, it's a staple for the community. You can't just move
And I
it.
know the community is going to miss it because it's always been there, but now the couple who owned it forever is going to have it back.
Aw, I like that story.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Naomi and her family, they like to travel, and they were in Montana last year. And Naomi's a little girl. She's in elementary school. She always carries along her teddy bear. Now, she's had her teddy bear since her parents adopted her. So she's had this teddy for quite a while. And his name, incidentally, is Teddy. But when they went to Montana and they were at this park,
Lost it?
She lost
Oh,
him.
no.
Yeah.
Why did I feel like this was going there?
I know. And I mean, Teddy had made it through. He'd been to Ethiopia and Greece with them.
That's a lot of traveling.
Right? So she'd done a really good job of keeping up with Teddy, but somehow he got lost along the way. So Naomi and her parents came home, and then one of the park rangers found Teddy and thought, okay, I can't just throw this little guy in the trash. I have got to make sure I find who he belongs to. So he went out on social media, didn't get any hits, didn't get any action. A friend of Naomi's family was going to this same park and said, I sat down and I prayed, please let me find Teddy for Naomi. She gets to the park. How weird is this, right? She gets to the park. Park ranger drives by. Teddy's in the back of the truck.
No way.
Teddy is
Get
in,
out.
and she's like, dear good sir, come back. You've got my teddy bear. And so came back. She gets the teddy. Naomi and Teddy are reunited.
Wow. How long was this? Couple of weeks?
A year.
Oh, no way. The teddy bear's been gone for a year.
A year. And
The park ranger kept it that long?
he tried. He had
That's
it in the back
great.
of the truck. But I mean, look how that worked out.
And now he's got to find another teddy bear. I'm sure he grew close.
To keep him
to
company.
Teddy, right?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Checking in with Stephanie Baker today with Life and Abundance Counseling Ministry. Before we talk about tips to prevent holiday stress and depression, Thanksgiving is coming up. Need to know just a couple of things, Stephanie, okay? Is it
Sure.
turkey or leg of lamb?
You know what? It's going to be, and I know you're going to love this, Rob. It's going to be a vegan holiday
Look at
roast
that.
for me.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you can answer this one then. Apple or pumpkin when it comes to the pie?
Oh, when I ate that, it'd be apple.
Uh-huh. Okay. And the
So it'll
cranberry.
be turkey and apple and all that for my family, the rest of my family.
Cranberry sauce, canned or homemade?
I like the homemade. I
Yeah.
do, but I grew up with the canned.
Yeah, the whole molded thing on the plate.
And the sound it makes
Yeah,
when it comes out.
So Thanksgiving coming up really soon. Tips to prevent holiday stress and depression. Okay, one of the first things that Stephanie will tell you is recognize and accept your feelings.
Yeah. This holiday, it may be for others the way that it's going to be for my family. We recently lost my stepfather in October. And so this is going to be the first Thanksgiving without him. And I know that there are other families that are facing the same thing. It's the first holiday. The firsts are typically the worst. And so I think it's just important that we realize that if you've lost somebody close to you or you can't be with loved ones for any other reason, it's normal to feel sadness and grief. And you don't have to force yourself to be happy just because it's the holiday season. And we want to have grace for the other people in our lives that have lost family members or can't be with their loved ones. So yeah, it's normal. It's normal to be sad after a loss, and it's normal to be sad when you can't be with, family members that you're used to being with.
Yeah. Stephanie Baker, Life in Abundance Counseling Ministry, and we're talking about those tips for holiday stress and depression and how to alleviate those things. One thing you say is to really connect with other people.
Yeah. Anytime we can get out of our own heads and connect with other people, it's a good thing. We were built for relationship, first with God and then with others. So we got to remember that. And if you're feeling lonely or isolated, I would encourage you to seek out community within your church, other social events that are there, friends. Just reach out. Just remember that you aren't alone. And sometimes it can help us when we hear what other people are experiencing, because it normalizes where we find ourselves in that moment. And if you can find a place to even volunteer that interests you and something that you feel good about doing, then that's a good way to lift your spirits as well. It's real important, I think, like I said, that we get out of our own heads as much as we can.
So much stress during the holidays and depression, and Stephanie has some tips for us to prevent that. You have a word that you say we need to learn, and the word is no.
No.
I like that word sometimes.
That's right. This is an important one, not just around the holidays. We want to make sure that we say yes when we mean yes and no when we mean no. Scripture says, let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. And that's what we're really kind of talking about. You can't be everywhere all the time. And believe me, I see clients every day that are trying to do that. And it does get worse around the holidays, it feels like, because everybody wants your attention. Everybody wants you to come to their party or this event or that event. And you might be throwing your own, events too. But friends and colleagues will understand. If they are truly friends, they will understand when you have to set some boundaries and say no. But see, here's the thing. It's up to you to actually be the one to set the boundary. Other people aren't going to understand that you have a boundary unless you're talking to them about it. And it's really okay, to say, I can't make it this time, or I've got too much on my plate, or think about me, at the new year if you do anything.
Yeah. Stephanie Baker, Life in Abundance Counseling Ministry. One other thing you say is don't throw away that healthy lifestyle. You got to stick with it.
That's right. And we were talking about this before we went on the air, and I was challenging all of us. Everybody's got an inner 4-year-old. And that inner 4-year-old wants to take over and make decisions, especially around a plate of fudge. That would be my inner 4-year-old. And so we don't want to let that inner 4-year-old make the decisions, because they don't typically make the healthiest decisions. So if you are somebody who has dietary restrictions, or like me, I have cardiovascular disease. So I'm very careful. I have to be very careful with what I eat according to my doctors. And then there are, Rob, you and Liz exercise, and you're trying to get and stay fit and take care of your bodies. And so a plate of sugar cookies or Christmas cookies, moderation is the key here. And we can do things to set ourselves up for success. But we really want to make sure that we remember how hard we've worked through the year to get where we are in those health goals. And then remember, I can undo some good stuff in just a couple of days. And so we want to make sure that inner 4-year-old may get a cookie, but not all the plate.
I want all 10. I want all 10. I'm in touch with my inner 4-year-old right now.
And therein lies why we brought that up. So,
I'll take the mom role. No.
One other thing, if you do let your inner 4-year-old make that choice, just remember, it will not be the end of the world. You can get back up on the horse, so to speak, and get going. So don't beat yourself up if you have a slip up here, but get back up, get back to the routine as quickly as possible.
I'm putting my inner 4-year-old in timeout.
That's a great idea.
Go sit on the stairs, young man, and think about what you just did with those sugar cookies. Stephanie Baker, thank you so much for all of these tips this morning.
Welcome.
It's really, really helpful,
Always so
especially during
good.
this time of the year. Stephanie Baker, Life in Abundance Counseling Ministry. You will see all these tips and so much more on our website, hisradio.com. We have a blog that she wrote about that, and it's really going to help